Okay, so we are live. Um, so last time on the game, you guys found this planet, and I guess this ship is not there anymore. And your ship is, if I remember right, it's really far away from the planet, right?
I think that's the case.
I'm not sure it's really far away, but outside of range a little bit of their cannons.
I think you said edge of the system is what you said, but
Yeah. So yeah, okay, I will say edge of the system instead of far away. um, and you guys had a problem that Harper was infected. So Harper right now is in a stasis. And last time you guys tried, or at least the science officer tried to um, fix the virus or fix the virus problem. You don't have any information that you actually have a virus that is spreading on the ship, but Raiba made a setup with the infected tablet and an individual setup of a system trying to uh, defeat the virus.
Trying to isolate and remove it.
Yep, so we can start from there. What do you guys want to do? Oh, one thing that I forgot and we can do now so I don't forget. We need to roll reputation. So everybody roll one reputation. Nice, Reba.
Nice.
Zenith and Rick.
So Ryba and I are going to switch. I'm going to take his 2 rep. He's going to take my 1.
Nope. You're gonna switch with Rick.
All right, I'll do that.
Okay, so what do you guys want to do now? At this point on the planet, the buildings seem to be almost done.
You mean the blue side's almost overtaking the red side?
No, they're each building like a cannon platform or something.
Yeah, they are bidding something instead of the cannons.
Oh yeah. Well, uh, I'm going to hit a button on my panel. Um, Senior officer briefing right now.
I'll make my way to the conference room.
I'll finish up what I'm doing and head that direction.
Do you have access to roll 20s in it?
Uh, yeah. Yeah, it says I'm.
Okay, I'm just saying that you can move your token. It's right in front there.
Sorry, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I just placed it.
You gonna sit in Ryba's lap?
No, I'm in that. I trying to put it in that second chair on the other side.
Yeah, I was just making a joke because your token was like right next to Ryba in the middle of the table, and it was like, are you trying to sit in his lap?
Oh, okay. Because it moved on me up there for some reason. So
Yeah, you should hold Alt when you place it.
And it doesn't matter on this one because we don't have the grids. When it has a grid, then you need to place the L.
It has a grid. All the maps have a grid. Just this one is hidden, and it's very small.
Well, it doesn't interfere with me placing mine wherever I want it to go, which is why I don't bother with the Alt on this one. On other ones, it will have an effect where I'll have to press the Alt, but not on this one.
Okay.
And as soon as I sit down and everybody else comes in, I'll be like, okay, everybody, talk to me.
Well, Captain, I'm trying to ascertain the nature of the potential virus that was on the pad. It seems to be quite difficult to remove.
How's that going?
Well, making some progress, but it's very difficult. I think given time, we should be able to isolate it and remove it. But that's an isolated case, so I'm not sure how that's going to work with the whole ship.
Well, as long as we have some type of defense that may work against it.
We'd essentially be restarting the entire computer core, leaving ourselves very defenseless. So
That's what I want to avoid. That's what you're supposed to look for. A solution that does not require us to wipe the entire computer core.
Well, if we had to do that, we could place some planetary body or another between us and whatever they are building. It should buy us some time.
I'm sorry. You said go ask them what they're building?
No, I said that we could put some planetary body or some other piece of the space debris between us and whatever they are building. That should buy us some time.
Oh, you put something between us.
Yes.
Yes. That would be a nice thing to do.
Certainly putting distance would not be a bad idea.
Is that the only planet in the system?
Nope. There are there's like two medium-sized planets and one small planet in that solar system.
Uh, sir, can't we land on a planet?
No, as far Luna class doesn't have a landing gear, so that would be yes. We could land exactly once, but
Okay, no. Didn't really look up the full schematics before I come on board. So yeah.
Out of character, I think the Luna class does have landing gear, but I'm not entirely sure on that. Let me check.
if you look at the overall shape and the placement of the nacelles, no, it doesn't.
Well, it actually has specifications somewhere. I've seen them.
I mean, theoretically, ships can still land if they don't have landing gear. It's just not easy.
Yep. And I think Lunar should be able to land.
I thought that it was because it was basically a bigger Intrepid class, but yeah, looking at those schematics, it does specifically say that it's not set up for it.
I mean, we could theoretically land it, but the ship would suffer severe damage to its superstructure, and that and that it and that's not what we could repair on our own.
I mean, you can just land a runabout, worst case scenario, if you really want to land, or a shuttle.
Yeah, that wouldn't get our ship on a planet. Now, if it was an Intrepid class, we would be able to land on a planet and keep us out of range that way, as long as the orbit of the planet and the spin rotation of it keeps us out of their targeting. But we're not in a Luna class or an Intrepid class. So yes, this vessel does not have landing capability.
I mean, I would say like one of the planets is a gas planet, so you can hide there if you really want.
Mr. Smith, get us into high orbit around that gas planet and see if that approach it in a way that will mask our signature as much as possible and still allow us to observe.
Yes, sir.
Uh, so there's three things that you can do. Is one, stay in an orbit where you can actually scan the planet and be able to move into the shadow of the, like, on the other opposite side of the planet's orbit. No, I think I didn't explain that right. You can put the planet, basically, you can put the planet between you and the alien planet. You can put the gas planet between you, or you can stay really close in putting the planet between you and the alien planet, but your sensors will not be fully, like, you will not have full resolution. Or you can just put the planet between you and the alien planet, but you cannot scan, like, you have no, you cannot see what's going on with that planet. So no scanning capabilities.
Yeah, we won't be able to see them, but they hopefully wouldn't be able to see us as well.
Yes.
Yeah, the not seeing them is what I don't like about that.
Okay, so I can make so this is the alien planet here, and this is the gas giant, and this is your ship. So you have three options. Either way, you put your ship. Hold on, let me see if I can move this. So I'm putting the token as a planet. So either way, you put your ship here, and you can run behind the planet in case of something, but you will be able to fully scan the planet. Either way, you put your ship somewhere here, and you'll be able to go behind the gas giant faster, but your scans will be limited. Either way, you put it here, and you cannot see the planet.
Okay, so can I fiddle with that?
Yep.
Okay, so say this is where we are right now. What I was planning and wanting and trying to portray to Smith was to, for a brief time, use the planet as a way to break their lock on us, so to speak, or their sensors on us, and then partly merge with their upper atmosphere and come out to where we're within technically the, I guess you could say, upper atmosphere of that planet and still have sensor range on the target planet and still be able to duck behind the planet.
So if you want to be in the atmosphere of that planet, is like you would see them, they will see you, basically.
So no height check. Got it.
Nope.
All right. So Smith, put us in orbit around that planet to where we can duck behind it if needed. I want scanners on that planet.
Yes, sir.
So you want that with high resolution scanning, so basically kind of here? Or do you want here where you have limited scanning capabilities?
Couldn't we send a sir?
Yeah, we could launch a probe that would keep its distance from the planet and still give us full sensors while being partially hidden behind that planet.
Well, if the Caliban is there behind the planet, and then you put the probe like here, which has a much smaller sensor profile, we could still get cover from the planet and uh, communicate with the probe. And the probe has line of sight, but it still has a lower sensor profile, so to speak.
That could make them think that no, that we would left and just left the probe behind.
I mean, what Zenith is saying, it might work, but at the same time, it is a possibility that they might see the probe. But it will work. You can put the probe in a place where the probe can see for you and relay that to you.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I want. I want us to be hidden behind the planet, still have eyes on the other planet to see what they're doing. So yes, ducking behind the planet, launching the probe.
Okay, then you can do that.
One of our it's gonna suck to lose it if we do, but one of the high sensor probes.
So I would say that you can do.
All right, so that's yeah. As soon as we're done with this briefing, Smith, I want you to plot a course to hide us. Then we'll launch the probe. So, Ryba, I want you to get that probe ready. Do whatever you have to, and then return to your study and possible isolation and removal of the coding.
Understood.
Dismissed.
Okay, so I guess everybody goes to their stations.
I'll stay on. I'll just go to the bridge.
Then move your token to the bridge. Nice.
Okay, I don't think I don't need to roll to to approach and establish an orbit around the planet.
No. But I would still allow you to roll.
To see how well we hide while doing it.
No, I would still allow you to roll control con difficulty 0 if you want.
Well, no, will you do anything or?
It could generate us momentum.
Or have a complication.
Yeah, let's try. Yeah, let's try it. See what happens. Okay, how many? Okay, how many dice am I rolling again?
It's a minimum of 2. You generated 3 momentum. Raiba, give me a reason science. And the difficulty will be 2. And if you pass difficulty 2, I'll give you more information.
Ship.
What was that?
Is it assisted by the ship?
Yes.
Okay, I'll buy 1 momentum then. Sorry, but 1 die with momentum.
Okay.
Focus.
You're basically. Do you have sensors? It's basically like, of course, when you would go to your console, you would still like look on the scanners of the planet, right? And that's what basically this role is for.
Okay then.
To see if you notice something.
Then I think this would fall under either computer or technical expertise that allows you to reroll with computers or sensors.
Yeah, I assume that.
So when you get to the console, you look over the scanners.
Which one do you want to reroll on that?
Yeah,
Yeah, so you generated 1 momentum. So you look over the sensors and you see that the planet it's still building the thing, and when you look over the sensors you realize that there's something with the thing that is building, and when you point your scanners directly at the thing you realize that it's some sort of antenna, and both of them are looking almost identically. And because you went over 2, One other thing that you realize is when you came to the planet, like on the borders of the colors, it seemed to be a struggle. It seems that there was a fight. Now it seems that the fight is not that intense anymore.
Um, Captain, it seems as if activity on the planet is died down, and the objects on the platform seem to be some kind of antennae.
And my antenna will twitch at that.
And one other thing is, it seems that they are almost done. From your estimation, maybe 20 minutes until it's fully finished. But operational, you don't know when or if it's already fully operational.
I'll relay that time frame to the bridge.
All right, then, Reba, it's your call. Either stay in your seat and continue monitoring, or go and continue working on that um, issue with the possible virus.
Do you still want me to prep the probe?
Yeah, the thing is that it's gonna take you around 10 minutes to move to position, and then I would say like 5 more minutes when you launch the probe. So the probe should be set up by the time the building is finished.
I thought that's what sensor roll was after we moved behind the planet already.
No, the sensor roll was for when Raiba got to the console and looked over the console. Basically, that's what he saw, and the sensor roll was like, "Hey, I see this. Let me scan it and see what it is." And with that scan, he saw that.
All right, then I'd tell him go prep the probe, launch it when ready, and then either return here to monitor or deal with the possible virus issue.
I So I don't know if it's a roll, but I'll prep the probe and give tactical instructions to launch it.
Uh,
Rick will inform them the precise moment they've reached the destination.
yeah, I would say that you can uh have all this without rolling.
Then I'll head back to science to work on my setup.
Yeah, so Raiba, you get to your setup 3 minutes before the building is fully completed. What do you want to do in those 3 minutes?
Well, can I check the status of it? Because I left it running.
Yeah, it's still the same thing. It's like everything, like the virus seemed to be inert on the softwares, and the only active part of the virus is the one that it's staying in the um, wireless connector, basically. And that is shielded in your cage. So it's still actively looking for a connection. But the computer that you left on, it seems to be working, and all the data that you put in, it seems that the software didn't connect to the data. It only connected uh, to the softwares that the computer had. To be more specific, I would say it is connected with everything that uses processing power.
So it's not connected to any of the storage devices, basically.
Yes, and welcome to the game, Ian.
Yeah.
Can I load up a file that basically mimics the communications system? Like, make it look as if it's connected to the communications on the ship.
I mean, I would say that you can put another tablet inside your cage and have the software on the tablet mimic the actual ship to a
Yeah,
certain degree.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can do that, and then have yourself connected to the tablet via wire or something like that.
See what it will do if it does get control, basically.
We should probably monitor you though if you're connected to it. We don't want that spreading back to your implant like it happened before.
Well, I have it turned off now that I can do that.
Okay.
So,
Speaking of which, I would have put in an appointment with the doctor once all this goes down.
and I guess the doctor received that appointment request.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so
Yeah,
yeah, do I roll for that task?
Uh,
To set an appointment?
No, not that.
uh, just give me. Uh, tell me exactly what you want on that tablet, because putting the tablet in the box, it wouldn't be a very hard thing, and having.
Basically, I'm setting up a convincing, almost like a simulation of what the ship is like, so that I can, uh, monitor what it would do if it did get control.
Or loose or whatever.
um yeah, you would basically need to create another separate computer for that, and maybe put a bit more processing power. Or I guess you can fake it, but at the same time it can be discovered.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just feed it with data that we've previously received. So the data is looking realistic because it has been realistic in the past. It's just not live.
Okay. Roll me a control security computers as a focus, and it would be a difficulty. I would say a difficulty free to set all that up, and if you get more successes at free, you will get like a small advantage to it.
I should just go with my determination here.
On a difficulty free?
Well, it seems to be pretty important.
Then use your determination.
Yeah. I'll go with keen to show how clever I am.
Which one?
Keen to show how clever I am.
That would work. Because basically you're trying to fool an AI.
Yeah. So I'll use that for the crit.
Okay, so you have 2 successes.
And then I'll buy a die with momentum.
2 momentum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just check it. You said control security, right?
No, control science.
Oh, right.
Because
I was
you're.
wondering why you said security.
Oh, I mispronounced it.
Okay, yeah, well, that makes it easier.
Oh, you can retract all that if you don't want to. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's 6. So that means you got 3 momentum back. So what you did is basically made on the floor a spaceship out of tablets. Like you took a couple of tablets and each tablet is mimicking a part of the system with the software and everything included.
Oh yeah, it's like playing Artemis.
Yeah, something like that. You know, it's like
Okay.
you created a spaceship made out of tablets, and each tablet you may put all the software and everything, like it is monitoring a certain part of the ship. And with this role, you manage to make it so convincing and modify a bit the tablets that it's gonna be almost like if somebody would connect to this network, they would think that they are inside the spaceship. There's still way to figure out that you're not inside a spaceship, like connected to a spaceship, but it's the as best as you could do it in those circumstances. The thing is that all this setup is gonna take a while.
Fair enough.
In the meantime, in those 3 minutes, does anyone want to do anything?
As I said, Rick will tell them the precise moment they will have arrived at the destination, and I need to step away for I need to step away for a minute or two. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Try and work on engineering a cloaking device.
On what?
What?
Like the minute I want to try and engineer a cloaking device.
Oh, a cloaking device?
Yeah, that's something that one of the players wanted.
Yeah,
Um,
that's not one thing that you can do right now. That's a project.
I start on it anyway.
Technically, that is prohibited by treaty.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's
Technically,
not.
we're not in Federation space or even the same sector, so.
Yes, but it's still prohibited by a treaty.
And you're still part of Starfleet. So if
So that being said, that's not something that you would do, Sela, unless you were ordered by me to do it.
Yeah.
or you can also work on it in secret, basically. But if you're discovered, you should know that that's not the thing. Like
Yeah,
basically,
exactly. Well,
you're
like I
yeah.
said, I didn't realize what time period I've got what time period we were in.
So does anyone want to do anything else in those 3 minutes?
Uh,
Or actually,
I
doctor, you kind of have 20 minutes if you really want to.
I just I just check on the status of any running experiments in sick bay. You know, check my messages, make sure sick bay's doing good. Just make it look like I'm doing something on that console that I'm standing in front of, and not just standing there.
I mean, all everything seems to be running smoothly in SecBay, and there's no more that one case of somebody, I don't know, bump their head or had a scratch or those minor normal things that usually happen on the ship. The most increase in like medical problems comes from the fact that they are fixing the runabout was outside, but that's normal.
Okay, making sure there's no emergency or anything. Try to look busy while I'm on the bridge, so I'm not just standing there staring at the captain the whole time.
Do you want do you want to actually give that impression to everybody?
Yes, you want to give the impression that you're just sitting there staring at the captain, watching his antenna twitch.
That's what I'm asking, because you would need to roll if you really want to be convincing.
Well, just doing something on the console. It's not. I'm not necessarily pretending that I'm working. It's just I want to make it look not look like. It's just I'm doing that so it looks like I'm doing something. I'm over there.
He's trying to keep himself
checking.
busy.
Okay, then you don't have to roll for that. Captain, do you want to do anything in? I mean, basically at this point, Captain, you also have the 20 minutes if you want. Because you wouldn't need to supervise everybody.
Okay, so for the first 10 minutes, I'm sitting there in my chair. My antennae are kind of twitching and swiveling around a little bit. And then right about the 10-minute mark, I start drumming my fingers against the arm of the chair. And I'd say at about the 15-minute mark, I kind of turn towards my console and tap into buttons and perform a scan myself using the probe data just to see what I can see.
Uh, Give me. What do you want to scan, basically?
I want to check on the planet.
Uh, Give me control science.
Did you say reason science?
Yes, reason science. Reason science, I would say the difficulty one, because you're not looking up anything specific. Ship.
The ship would not be able to assist anyway. I got 0.
Oh yeah, you're right. You got zeroed. So It's basically you see the probe scanning and you look at the data and except like whatever everybody told you, you don't see anything different. And everything seems to be running normal with the scanning.
So I'll go back to sitting there, quote unquote, patiently waiting for something to happen. And maybe every so often, my finger will kind of tap the shield button to turn it on and off. Unconsciously, of course, or subconsciously.
So if nobody wants to do anything else, the science officer announced to the captain, Captain, the structure seems to be complete. There's no more building. And I'm definitely starting to see a power spike from the structure. It doesn't look like charging a weapon, but it definitely looks like it's using a lot of energy.
Can you give me anything more specific?
Yep, it's powering up.
You already said that.
Without knowing what it does, I I cannot do anything. And who's gonna I would say somebody give me a reason. I would say a reason security role. Difficulty difficulty 1, not assisted by the ship.
I'll make it. And I'd like to buy an extra die.
Uh Wit.
Momentum.
Okay. Yep. So, Raiba, you finished putting everything together. You install all the software on every data pad. You made sure that they physically don't have the wireless connection to anything, and you basically put the one that has a wireless connection inside the box. What do you want to do? Why
So
I'm
the whole set
asking?
is the whole setup in the box,
No, it's
right?
it's only the antenna, the pad with the antenna inside the box, but everything is outside of the box, and it's definitely, I told you, like, physically you don't have an antenna on all of the ones on the floor because you would remove that.
Right. Okay. So they don't have any way of communicating.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With that roll that you gave me before, you would be smart enough to like remove that because you saw that when you put the first pad in, it was you deactivated the wireless, but the software still activated it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll connect it to. Well, essentially the science part of the pad that's pretending to be the science to try and give it an act.
Okay, so why I ask you what do you want to do, because you have two things that would give you, like, you can monitor one of the two things. Either way, the computer that you already have infected, either way, the setup that you made. Like, you, in the first couple of seconds, you can monitor one of those two. You cannot monitor both of them at the same time. You will get results from both of them, but the first thing that happens.
I'll monitor the computer first. No, not the computer, the setup. So the path it takes and what it's doing enters the new setup basically.
Okay, so you want to see how the infected system reacts when it finds a system that is not infected.
Well, I want to watch the non-infected system as it gets infected.
Oh, so that's the first one that you want to watch.
Yeah.
It's like that. I'm just saying that you're gonna get basically some information from both of them, but one of them that you monitor first will give you something more. It will give you the what happens in that split second when it finds a connection.
Yeah. Well, I thought that looking at the place where it's going would be better than the place where it already is. But maybe
Okay.
not.
Okay, so you want to monitor your setup that you just made with the tablets. Give me, I would say, um, since it's computers, I would say inside science, and that would be a difficulty 3.
I'll buy 2 die with momentum.
Okay. If I'm right, you can re-roll that, right?
He should be able to, considering it's a computer that he's studying.
Yup, you're definitely using a
No,
computer.
I can use technical expertise if I'm being assisted by the ship.
Yeah, but computer expertise allows you to re-roll if you're studying a computer.
No, that gives me an extra d20.
Oh yeah, so you cannot re-roll that.
But I do get the additional d20 actually. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I would give you 1 momentum back.
Okay.
Why don't you have cautious map?
To be honest, I think his setup is pretty interesting.
Because he doesn't normally need it, because most votes are assisted by the ship.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And it's actually a bit better because any war basically is assisted by the ship. Doesn't have to be in that specific area.
Shit with momentum. Or actually, can I crush it with one threat, one momentum?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And you met the difficulty free. So, what happens? What you see is basically the virus starts infecting all the ship, system by system, and it infects the ship. Like what you build, the fake ship, it infects it very fast, very aggressive, and even where you put firewalls in, it seems that it's basically infecting the firewall, and then from the firewall it's spreading around. It's a very weird way of doing it. And soon as it's spread through all the tablets and all the systems that you have put in, it basically stops. And because you only had 3 successes, yeah, it stops, and then it seems that it's using the antenna to communicate with something. But since there's nothing there, now it seems that it's trying to use the fake ship's antenna to communicate with something. And everything else seems to died down.
Am I able to see like coordinates or frequencies that it's actually trying to contact with?
It's basically trying to contact on all the frequencies. It's like trying to establish a communication with something. And that's the only part of the virus active. The rest is still like Dermot. Yeah. I would still give you, if you really want, I mean, you kind of, I would say, I would just say this. Like, the speed that the virus start getting the system increased from, like, it connected to the to one system, then it started infecting the next system faster, then the next system faster, and so on and so forth, until, like, when it infected the last system, it was really fast from the first system. And that's the only information that I give you, because you only had 3 successes. You can spend 1 momentum and ask more questions if you want.
Hmm. Just thinking of what questions I would want to ask. I guess it's not really a question, but it doesn't stop me from accessing anything. I can still access the pads and stuff, as if.
Yes. And it seems that how you made it, it seems that all the simulations are running normally. And you even created like a fake map or everything like that. There's nothing that seems to that it's actually taking control of the ship. But it still has access to all the systems.
And this, what color was this one? Were we able to tell?
The bowl that infected you was the blue one.
Okay, I don't have any more questions at the moment. I'm gonna hail the captain. Commander Riber to Captain Aslan.
Go ahead, Doc. Yeah, Doc Ryba. Commander Ryba.
It could be a Doctor of Science, I suppose. I created a essentially a simulation of the ship being taken over by the virus. It seems to be very, very quick at taking over systems. Doesn't really respond to any kind of resistance that we might place, such as firewalls, etc. Its main goal seems to be reaching out and communicating with something. It doesn't seem to have any other ambition apart from just controlling and communicating.
I still don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either. But I'm not sure a aggressive option against it is going to work. It seems to be very, very resilient. But it's very difficult for us to simulate it getting a response from the signal that it's sending out without knowing what it's looking for.
Yes, it's possible that it's trying to communicate with the antennas that finished building.
Possibly. But so far we've seen no hostile intent, so, well, aside from them attacking the ship.
Yeah, right, but that's what we call hostile intent.
Could be that's their way of communicating, sir.
Could be, but
Right, so you think their way of communicating is you turning to them saying hi and getting punched in the face. That's a conversation I don't want to have. Do you?
I didn't say it was desirable, but
That's not too much different than how Klingons greet each other. So, yeah,
Well, only if they're trying to mate. Klingons have a little bit more sophisticated way of communication. I mean, if you insult their honor, then yes, they're going to greet you with a punch to the face. If you don't, they're not necessarily going to do that. I mean,
Uh, right,
But
but
see, your punch, sir, might be a tap on their shoulder. We don't know.
right, but one thing that when they are discussing, you remember that you put on the computer a lot of information. The virus didn't even touch it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to have any interest in information. It just wants to communicate with something.
Why don't we try and give it something to communicate with?
It's a bit tricky without knowing what it's trying to do.
I mean, you already did, and he took it over.
Yeah.
Uh, question: Would Uku had would have access to the lab?
I mean, he wouldn't be able to just stroll in, but he could contact me.
yeah, the labs may be one of the restricted areas that would have been set up beforehand.
Okay. Roybot, is there anyone assisting you with this project, or are you
I
doing
think
it alone?
I did have Streck in there, but he went off into the
Yeah,
astrolab.
but the thing is that he was there since last thing you did,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
that
he's my number two like science guy, so he'll be in there sometimes, and other times he's doing other things.
yeah, that's what I'm asking. Is like he be here helping you?
I mean, I would imagine I would have some kind of assistant, and not just doing it on my own, but doesn't have to be him.
If there's nothing else going on that would let me, I would probably help him.
Do you want him to help you or a random science guy?
I don't mind. If he wants to help, then he hasn't got orders to do anything else. Then I guess that would be good.
Okay, I would say that he will help you, or he will be there with you. So right now you still have open comms with the captain.
Yeah, it's like everybody joined the call for some reason, but yeah.
But I mean,
No, as far as Zinnek goes, he was on the bridge right there with me.
Guess you're all on the bridge, so it's fine. I could attempt to simulate something for it to communicate with, but it probably wouldn't equate to much unless we knew exactly what it was trying to do. It'd probably just try and take it over again.
Most likely. Have you, in that whole situation, did you have or figure out or think of any way that you could have of keeping it from doing whatever it is it's doing?
Nope, it thwarted the firewalls with increasing speed, getting faster and faster as it progressed.
While you're talking to the captain, you definitely see Stark working on something. Or not on something, on your setup.
Okay, I guess I'll peer over his shoulder and just see what he's doing.
Yeah, he's resetting, from what you can tell, he's resetting everything. He's like disconnecting all the tablet from each other's and resetting everything back to normal. From what you can tell, he might want to restart what you did before.
Okay. Do you have a plan or something, Lieutenant? I suppose.
I'm just saying that you're still open comms with the captain.
Oh yeah, but I can still don't just strike at the same time.
Yeah, I'm just saying that the captain hears all this. When you say that, Stark turns towards you and says, like, I was thinking maybe we should start again and try to see what happens on the computer. Maybe there's a difference.
Very well, you may proceed with that, since you've already started.
Right. Well, Reba, get back to me when you have some more information.
Yep, will do.
Yeah, as soon as you end the conversation, Raiba, you see Stark getting up and starts connects all the cables and then puts the tablet that he's supposed to communicate back in the box, and he goes to the computer.
On the bridge, see me after I close the comm. My antennas just start twitching like mad.
I guess it takes some time because each pad has to be wiped and reset.
Oh my god, I was talking without pressing the button, the push to talk button. Yeah, so I was saying that he started doing all of this when you started like talking with the captain, so he had some time. He finished it, and now he's up at the computer and he looks at it and says, Commander, this is very interesting.
I'll come over and have a look.
Basically, what you see right now is that all the software that were infected are firing up and focusing. Like, there's a lot of traffic between the antenna and all the other softwares, and it seems that it's like everything is firing up and it's working towards the antenna. And then you see Stark jumping from the computer to the tablets. He's like pressing on the tablets and says, Commander, look at this. It seems that as many system as it gets the virus, as faster it spreads.
What was that? You just went a little bit robot at the end.
He said that look at this, Commander. It seems that as many system as it infects, as faster it spreads. It seems that it's using all the system that it already infected as a processing power to infect more.
Explain why it gets faster.
What?
Would explain why it gets faster getting through our firewalls
Yeah,
aggressively.
it seems that like the last system infected, it's communicated with the first system infected. It's basically asking for processing power. I think the only system, I think the only thing that will slow it down is bad cables or bad processors.
Hmm.
Give me give me an inside science. I would say a difficulty 2.
I'll buy 1 die with momentum. Oof. uh, do, 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 do. Oh, I do get the additional die from the technical expertise, I suppose, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, then I will give you your momentum back. Yep, that's the most information that you are getting. I mean, if you want, I would also allow Stark to roll for that. For the same information that you might get, but his score is even lower than you. It's 9 and 4. And it's still gonna be a difficulty of 3. Or, no, sorry, a 2. I said 2.
I would say it's worth a shot. You never know what could happen.
Do you want to roll for him or should I roll for him?
You go ahead. He's. It's always good to have a Vulcan around.
You see him jumping up from the pads and start resetting everything again. And while he's doing that, he's like, I think I saw something, Commander. It's like every time when it infects a system, it's asking for something. I only barely glanced, I only barely noticed that on the last system that he infected. And I was thinking restarting the whole thing again and try to see if I can spot it.
If you think you have an idea, then go ahead.
In the meanwhile, on the bridge,
Please tell me it's not asking permission to ask permission.
Oh no, but if it would have been a good idea. uh, in the meanwhile, on the bridge, give me um reason security again. Who wants
Give
to
me
give?
1 second. I'm away from my keyboard, away from my computer.
Okay. While he's getting back to his computer, um, Ryba. Oh, okay. Ooh, no. Yep. So, Captain, the security officer says, Captain, I think they spotted our probe.
Well, I mean, kind of knew that was a possibility.
And the antennas are really draining power. A couple of seconds later, we lost the probe, Captain. Ryba? In the science lab, Stark is restarting the um this test, and he noticed something, and he tells you, Commander, every time when the software interacts or finds another software, it asks for a code. If it doesn't receive the code, it infects it and keep on doing that.
Enter code 42.
Are you able to discern the code?
It's basically asking for a code. I think it's asking for a recognition code or something.
Well, time to brute force it. Put as many systems on there needs to give it a unique code. And go through all the codes possible.
Are you able to ascertain the nature of the code?
It's basically asking for a. It's like how we can tell that we found a Federation ship. We get the code from that ship. And basically, that's the same thing.
Right.
It's asking for a friend foe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. It's asking for a friend foe code, but it's not receiving a code, so it just infects. Captain, on the bridge, the probe, you just were informed that the probe is not there anymore. The science officer just said that you lost the probe.
Yeah. Um, crap. Uh, I don't want to waste all our probes on this one planet.
I'm just saying because you will definitely look like what happened. The thing is, the probe, you don't have any communication with the probe anymore, but the probe is not destroyed. It's still there. You can still see it on the scanners.
So it's still there, but hmm. Did did it get hit by both?
Do you want to put it on visual?
Yes.
You see that definitely the probe is there and it's blinking between blue and red.
Hmm. I am so tempted. Um,
And you also see that the probe is getting hotter.
Hotter as in it's overheating and about to explode.
In like temperature rising inside the probe. Uh, yeah, some sort like an overload, but it doesn't seem to be an bomb overload. It's basically, since it's your probe, you will know like when all the chips inside it work faster than they are supposed to.
Basically, it's being overclocked.
I'm going to turn to the science officer. Can we send a shutdown code to it?
We can try.
Do so.
Uh, I would say, where's a generic science officer? And I would say a control science. I would say a difficulty one. Let's see. Yep, you got one momentum. And the probe shuts down. And it's not blinking any colors.
This is Captain to Shuttle Bay. I want you to prep a shuttle and disable its. Um, by disable, I mean power it off, unhook it, do whatever you have to do for the communications, and prep it for launch.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Mr. Smith,
Captain?
you are going to take that shuttle out and retrieve that probe.
Understood.
And I'll hit the button. Riba,
Captain?
we just lost our probe. We did manage to send a shutdown signal to it. I am sending Smith out to retrieve it. It was infected by both.
Ah, I see.
I want you to go with him because you're going to retrieve that probe and do whatever you can to keep it from interacting with any other ship system or whatever while you retrieve it, bring it back, and figure out what the heck just happened to it without infecting anything else.
Captain,
Understood.
permission to accompany Mr. Ryba to monitor his condition, since he is supposed to be resting.
No, right. Permission granted, Doc.
Thank you.
Since we can't communicate with the ship, if you see a preparing to fire ball things, it'd be appreciated if you could send like a warning shot or something.
One thing we could do is send like if the ship blinks on
Right,
color,
right now,
that means
you are
something's going on.
engineering.
Sailing, right now, you are in engineering. So, you are not in the scene.
Reba, perfectly reasonable. I will be standing by to blast anything that they fire at you out of, out of space.
Well, I wouldn't shoot them, but shooting them was ineffective. It will just power them up from what we learned last time.
Yes, anything that they fire at your shuttle while you're trying to retrieve it, I will destroy before it reaches your shuttle.
Made of the same as before. It only grows stronger from phaser fire.
Those bowls were destroyed.
Were they?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they were destroyed, but the planet was firing other balls. And the balls that were fired from the planet, they were more smarter, basically.
Okay, fine.
Take the runabout so you can lock a tractor beam onto the probe if you have to.
Do we have two runabouts?
Yeah, one of them is.
Okay, yeah, the other runabout. Okay, I'll head there then and leave Strek in charge of whatever he's doing.
He just doesn't even notice you. Like, you pronounce his name, he's focused in what he's doing.
No, Rick goes to the shuttle bay as well.
So right now, you guys are gonna go get the probe. We need to take 5 minutes break, and then we can continue. So we are back from the break, and you guys were going to get the probe. So,
So
so Rick, Zenith, and Raiba are not on the bridge anymore.
I don't say anything to Ryba, but as soon as I see him, I pull out the medical wand for the tricorder, and I'm just following around, just scanning him. Not saying anything too. If he looks at me, I kind of give him a little bit of a dirty look, but other than that, I don't say anything. I just scan him, follow him around, whatever he does, scanning
scanning
him.
him. So it's almost, but not quite, like the remake of the Star Trek when Kirk is running down the hall and McCoy's right behind him, scanning him like crazy.
Yeah, yeah, almost, just not quite that frantic.
Yeah, give me a control medicine. And I would say this is difficulty 1. Okay. Um, you generated 1 momentum. So, Doctor, you see that Raiba is in perfect health and his implant is not damaged from what you can tell. And but it's also not active.
Okay. After a little bit of vigorously waving Ganner at him, I go, Mr. Ryba, you having any problems with the implant?
I wouldn't say problems. I seem to be able to manually turn it off and on, which is a surprise.
Yeah, that's new.
Yeah,
But
Doctor,
otherwise, I feel fine.
that shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, I'm just tucking that away. I'm not. We're about to go on a mission, and I'm not gonna. If he's not having any problems with it, I'm not gonna bring it up and worry him or anything.
Yeah, I mean, even he should know that. But that's the only odd thing. Like, his implant is just shut down. Like, somebody pushed the shutdown button on the implant. Which, from your knowledge, it could be done only by, surgically opening his brain and just press the button on the implant, or surgically opening him up and press the button.
Oh, so my assumption then is that Ryba grew a finger in his head and he's punching. He can punch the button on and off now. Okay, good.
Maybe. Who knows what exactly is going on?
He is mentally fingering himself in his head.
Something like that. Okay. Um. So you guys get to the runabout, and you're gonna get the probe. So, Raipa, from your knowledge
Yep.
about the probe, and I guess Rick would know this as well, especially Rick, would know that the probe received the shutdown code, and after receiving the code, the probe shut down. But that's the extent of what you know.
So we're not getting any signs of activity from the probe at all.
From the ship, no. I mean, you can scan it when you get there, but like the ship says that the probe seems to be inactive.
Right.
All right. So my plan is to get us into tractor beam range and just reel it in.
That's what the captain kind of said. So, what would it be? Controls security to capture to use the tractor beam,
Weapon security.
or yeah, weapon security. Yeah. So
Well, at least weapon security for the ship. But yeah, control security.
yeah, so control. Give me control security. It would be a difficulty one because the probe is not moving or anything. So who's gonna get the probe? Because I would say that you left the ship, everything was fine because that's not a hard takeoff or anything, and you want to tractor beam the probe. So yeah, yeah. Zenith went to the weapons controls and he captured the probe. And you have one momentum floating.
Everybody seemed to be busy, so I went ahead and did it.
Yep. You captured the probe, and you got also an extra floating momentum. Do you want to do anything with it, Doctor?
Um, yeah, I want to. Well, that begs the question: what can I do with it, just in this situation?
I mean, you can use another one and create an advantage. Or you can use it to ask questions related to the situation.
My suggestion for this would be to use the floating momentum and an extra one to create some type of advantage that isolates the the probes so that it's not transmitting something along the tractor beam back to the shuttle.
Okay, I will do that. Um, Set up a feedback pulse so it's not transmitting. Make sure it's not transmitting anything back.
Yep, you managed to set it up, and I will accept that one. Because the probe is still inactive, so.
Yes. Pretty much the moment the probe is caught in the tractor beam,
Yes.
Rick starts to back the shuttle up.
Okay, yeah, you're starting to move the shuttle back to the ship. And give me a control or a daring con for managing to safely move the probe and the shuttle in the dock bay.
All right. What's the difficulty for that?
I would say it's a difficulty 2, because it wouldn't be that hard.
Difficulty 2. Hmm. say I'll, no, I'll buy two two dice with momentum.
Okay. You got 2 momentum back, and you managed to park the ship and safely um, put the probe on the deck.
I contact the shuttle control and have them erect a containment field around it.
Yep, the containment field is there. Right now, from what you could tell, the probe is inactive.
Did I miss something, or are we just being really quiet?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for you guys to tell me what you want to do. Now that the probe is on the deck and things like that.
After a minute or so, I guess, I'm gonna hit the com. Captain Aslan to Shelby. What's going on?
I think we have the comms off, so you can't contact us.
I mean, you're already on the ship, so your communicators would work.
Hmm? Oh, we've got back to the ship already.
Yeah, that was the role for the con officer.
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
If he can safely land the ship and touch the probe.
Okay, I'll call engineering and get them to do a diagnostic of the probe.
Then call sailing.
Commander Rabbit to Commander.
I think you cut off.
Did I?
I only heard Commander Raiba to Commander.
Commander Sealer?
Go ahead.
We've retrieved the probe. You stick of it. Currently, it's powered down.
We'll get right on it.
Can I call Strek up and get him to assist?
I mean, yeah.
Rick, just make sure that the shuttle is properly powered down. And goes, well, gentlemen, if you don't need me anymore, I will be on my way back to the bridge.
Good job, Ensign. Are you an ensign? I am assuming so.
He's a lieutenant.
Lieutenant. Okay, good job, Lieutenant.
He's a Lieutenant Ensign.
I'll head to the bridge with him.
Okay, so
I guess I start work on the diagnostics.
So what are you gonna do, Sadie?
I'm gonna query the computer where Uko is.
What do you need to roll for the diagnostics?
So, Doctor, the computer tells you that Uku is somewhere on in the bar or like in the mess hall.
Okay, I go there.
Okay. Sadie, again, what do you want to do?
I start work on. I go down to the bay and start work on the diagnostics of the probe.
Exactly how you gonna do that? Because you need to turn the probe back on to do diagnostic on it. So are you gonna just turn it on and start trying to do diagnostic on it? Or what do you want to do?
I'm gonna watch it to make sure it doesn't send anything. To make sure it's not sending anything out. I'm gonna make sure it's not sending a signal out.
And how are you gonna do that? What measures are you gonna take so the probe doesn't
Take
send?
out the communication, the satellite basically, so we can't communicate.
So you basically cut the antenna down?
Yeah. We're not like take it off so we can reuse it later, just so it won't communicate right now.
Oh, so you disconnected.
Yeah.
Okay. Um so I guess you disconnect the antenna and you start doing diagnostic on it.
Yep.
So the first thing that happens when you turn it on, it's gonna be that the probe starts it starts like all the lights on the probe starts transforming from red to blue and from blue to red, and keeps on doing that. And one thing that you noticed is that the temperature on the probe is rising really fast. Especially that now the probe is in an atmosphere. and it's already 30 degrees inside.
I shut off the probe again.
You shut the probe down?
Yeah.
Yep, the probe is shut down.
I'll be right back after something really quick.
In the meanwhile, Doctor, so Doctor, this is the setup that you find when you get to the mess hall.
Is he in actual conversation with anybody, or is he just sitting?
Yeah, that table is seems to be a lot of people like talking with Uku, and it seems that is the most animated table, and it seems that Uku seems to be the center of attention, but at the same time it also looks like everybody's acting to him like he's part of the crew.
Okay, I will wait for a lull in the conversation and go. Excuse me, Uku, could I talk to you for a moment in private, please?
He turns towards you and says, "Of course, doctor. If you excuse me," and he turns like towards everybody and says, "If you excuse me," and everybody nods, and he gets up and waits for you to lead him.
Um, so there's not really a empty table away from everybody, is
Um, I would give you that like this. I would say that this one it's empty.
there? Yeah, I move over to that one. Go ahead and I go ahead and sit down and kind of motion to Uku. I've got some news and um, a question for you. We'll do the news first. Um, I don't know if you had heard, but Christopher Harper is has been infected, and he's in more or less a comatose state at this point.
He he nods.
I know you had um, become friends with him, and I wanted to let you know that why he wasn't around all of a sudden. Um, the other is a question: do you know um, the makeup of uh, the crystals that make up your, for lack of a better term, nervous system? Uh, I've got some experiments going in bioelectric crystals, and I would like to know if you had any information on the makeup of those systems.
He. The thing is that you don't see any facial expressions, but his eyes are making. They are pulsing, and it takes a second for him to answer, and then he says, "I would prefer if you don't interfere with my crystals, doctor."
Um, okay. Was going to see if there were any options to reintegrate um, material similar, but if that's what you want, I can do it.
He just nods.
Um, do you? We're in Axion, no Mexian space, going to a space station, and we run across this planet. It actually has to do with what's wrong with Harper. Do you know anything about a computerized mechanical world?
I don't know anything about this specific planet, if that's what you're asking. I heard he he just pauses. I know about the situation that you that the ship is in right now. I don't know specifics or anything, but no, I have no information without looking over data.
Uh, well, if you want to, Riba was running simulations on the code from the nanobot, microbot, whatever they are, and he would probably appreciate any input you have. I'll let you get back to what you're doing, and see you around. And I leave, go back. I guess I head for the bridge.
Like when you get up from your chair, Uku it's still there. It like he doesn't get up at the same time as you do. And he just watches you. Like his eyes turn to like his eyes already are normal, but he just you see that he's like watching you.
Okay.
Now, odds or even?
If you're asking me, it's odd.
Yeah, but you're always odd.
Exactly.
um. Yep. So, Sadine, are you back? I guess no. Does anyone wants to do anything in the meanwhile?
Well, I'll have reached the bridge if the captain wants to talk.
Yeah, Raiba enters the bridge with Rick.
Rick simply goes straight to his station.
Yep, move your
As
token.
soon as he gets within my sight, I'll kind of turn towards him. Good job, Lieutenant Smith.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you can move your tokens. Who wants to move where?
Rick just goes to his station, turns to the officer. I'll take it from here.
Yeah, the officer nods and moves away. Uh, Celine, are you back?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to do with the probe?
So I try and install a program where it will limit the temperature it can get to. So if it gets too hot, it would thought about the CPUs basically.
Yeah, to be able to program it, you need to turn it on.
Could I
And what?
put the program on like a tablet or something, then plug it into the probe, and then when it turns on, copy it over basically.
You can try.
And that's what I would do.
So let me be clear on what you're trying to do. You are taking a normal tablet. You're putting a software
Okay,
on.
now I should probably I would take one of the ones that are disconnected from the ship.
Okay, so you're taking a tablet and you remove the network, the wireless network card on it, right?
Yes.
And then you put that software and you connect it to the probe and then you turn the probe back on.
Yes.
Without rolling, because there's nothing to roll for, when you connect the tablet, so you connect the tablet to the probe, you turn the probe on. Soon as you turn the probe on, you see the tablet going crazy and it starts getting really hot.
Yeah, I try and immediately copy over the program to the probe,
It
and then
the tablet doesn't work anymore. It's
I
like
just
it goes crazy.
I will then disconnect the tablet and shut it off.
And the probe?
Try and program it so to put that code on.
Yep, the probe doesn't answer to anything that you're trying to do. It's like the only thing that the probe answers is basically if you remove the antenna. It doesn't have an antenna anymore. And the probe is getting hotter really fast.
I
Uh,
then shut it off and just take the data, like any stored data, like the drives basically out.
yeah, you need to understand you cannot do anything on the probe via a computer or a tablet because when you connect the tablet to connect to the probe, you need to connect through a tablet. When you connect the tablet to the probe, it instantly gets infected and the tablet starts going crazy. The screen goes crazy and it starts getting really hot.
Yeah, I just turn off the probe and then take the drives out, basically.
What drives?
Where the data's stored.
Okay. So I guess you take the chips.
Yeah. Because we know from before they didn't touch anything that's stored. It only touched anything that uses that's using processing power. Anything that's stored, it doesn't touch.
First of all, you have no idea about that information. You weren't in the room. Your character doesn't know anything about what Ryba discovered because nobody told your character.
Ryba didn't even share that with the captain.
Yeah, he didn't even share that with the captain. So basically, what you know right now is that the virus is taking over systems one by one. Or he's taking over system and then he stays inactive because at that point somebody put that in the system, to say like that, and you would have access to that. But that's basically what you know. What you know.
Well, I did say that it doesn't have an interest in anything apart from communications.
Yeah, that's why I allowed him to remove the antenna because he would know that information. I mean, as soon as you discovered it, you put it as a thing. You know, if you're working with this virus, just disconnect all communications.
That's something we learned from last session also.
Yeah, but your character is previous only to informations that he find out in game. So you don't know that the virus is getting faster if it moves from the computer from the program to program that is using the processing power. You have no idea about the virus.
Lieutenant Commander Sheila to Captain Cavell and Lieutenant Commander Viber.
Ryba here.
Gvol?
Go ahead, Commander.
So, any attempts to try and get any information out is not working. Whenever I connect a device to it, it immediately infects it, and I can interact with it.
So start pulling it apart piece by piece. I want something isolated.
Viber, do you have any information that would help us?
Well, there's no point trying to stop it with firewalls. It can get past them very, very easily. We seem to find out that as it controls systems, it uses the processing power from those systems in order to gain in strength, essentially. So it's as powerful as it can, as much processing power as it can get is basically how powerful it can be.
Right. So just to clarify, Commander Sela, are you asking Ryba on how to take apart a probe?
No, I'm just saying any more information about what the virus is doing.
I'm just saying that you received an order from the captain to take the
Yeah,
probe apart.
I start taking the probe apart. And the communications.
Um, give me control engineering difficulty 2 to take the part to take the probe apart.
Don't forget a left Shrek there to assist with something,
Oh, oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, that's why I left
Because
him there to.
yeah, um, Saline, you see that uh, Astrick is asking you for the tablet.
I hand him the tablet.
Yeah, he takes the tablet and then he nods towards you and says, "It seems that you need to take the probe apart." And he just leaves.
He takes the tablet and runs.
Yep, I start taking the bulb apart. Do I have a focus?
I don't know.
You have a focus in probes?
Or in taking probes apart.
What I can think of is metallurgy and computers.
You're no. None of them would apply.
Okay.
So, give me a control engineering difficulty 2.
I will spend 1 momentum
Okay.
for next dice.
You got that momentum back, and you will manage to take the probe apart. What exactly? How exactly do you want to take the probe apart? What exactly do you want to do with it?
Like the captain said, take everything apart. Try and isolate. But and then also with what Baba said, basically taking out all the computing processors except for one. I can take them all out and put a slower one in.
Okay. Um. Yep. So you are doing that, Raiba. Um. Stark is hailing you. Commander Raiba. I don't know what rank is Stark. Hold on.
I think he's a lieutenant.
Probably.
There's no rank here. Oh yeah, Lieutenant. Oh sorry, there's. Lieutenant Stark to Commander Raiba.
Yep. Go ahead.
Commander, I got the tablet that was infected. From our engineer, and it seems whenever I turn it on, it's having a battle.
With who?
With itself, because or it's processing something really badly, but the tablet it's keep on changing colors from blue to red, so I guess it's the same thing as it is on the planet.
Ah.
So I was thinking getting this to the lab, and I was wondering if you want to assist me since you're very good with the computers.
Yeah, I'll head down. Meet you there.
Stark out, and he closes the communication.
So I'll start heading to science.
Okay. When you get to the science lab, uh, Stark is not there yet. But let's see. You are there, and Uku's there. Actually, um, you arrived and see Uku at the door.
Ah, okay, yeah. Oh, Uku. Can I help you?
Commander, yes, I was looking for you. The doctor suggested that I should come to you if I want to get more information about what's going on.
How much do you know so far?
I know that there's a planet that is half blue, half red, and it's a computer that is a virus related to the situation.
Yep, that's right. We have a sample of the virus in the lab that, and we're analyzing it. If you would like to take a look.
He nods and kind of moves aside so you can enter.
Okay, I'll enter my password without him seeing.
Yeah, I mean the door opens for you, but it doesn't open for him. You don't need to actually put a password. It's
Oh, really?
automatic.
I thought it was a secure room. You have to do that, but okay.
Oh, okay. So
Uh,
then it's the same thing. But Uku doesn't seem to like watch what you're doing.
yeah,
He
yeah,
just
sure.
he just moves aside because the door doesn't open for him, and
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
So I'll go in and let him in.
Yeah, he goes in, and soon as like you got in, you get in, you hear Stark like, "Commander, hold the door, I'm coming."
Okay.
And I guess at this point all three of you are inside here. Yeah,
It's a
so
very cramped lab.
yeah, I know. We need. Oh no, we can use this one actually. It makes more sense to use this one. So, soon as like Oko gets inside, you see him like waiting for you to do something. He's like shadowing you for a second.
So I'll explain basically the experiments that I performed before and show him the results on the computer.
So basically, you're doing an information dump on Oko, right?
Yeah, I'll basically
Are
run him through
you
the.
holding back on anything?
Not really, no.
Okay. Oko listens to your information, and you see that Stark is like preparing something, and then Oko um, turns towards the computer and says, "If you don't mind, Commander." Basically, he's like pointing that he wants to do something on the computer.
What are you wanting to do?
Have a look myself.
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead. I'll quietly ask Strek just to watch what he's doing.
Like Shrek looks at you when you tell him that. He looks at you as like, "I'm busy, Commander. I'm setting this up."
I'll just roll my eyes and nod.
Hold on. Let me see if I did the thingy. Oh yeah, I will go. Yeah, I need to, after we finish the game, remind me to explain how this character would work for you guys. in the meanwhile, Stark is working on connecting. Uh, did you guys heard me when I told you that after the game, tell me to tell you how the Uku character works?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Um. Yeah. So Stark is connecting the tablet to your ship, basically, but not like the fake ship.
Okay. Which tablet? The new one.
Yeah, the new one.
Okay.
And you see that he's resetting all the tablets to the default and things like that. And now he's connecting it to the whole ship, and then he's like connecting the tablets there.
Mhm.
One of the things that you see happening is all the tablets are start firing up, and all of them go crazy, and they are starting to heat up all the tablets. Do you
Yeah, I
want
can
to?
imagine.
Yeah. Do you want to do anything about it?
Um. Not really. I mean, my hypothesis is they're going to be just fighting each other. So
Yeah. Um. It seems that the tablets are getting really hot, and since you're not doing anything, Stark will not do anything. Goku is busy on the computer. You see, after a while, some tablets are changing one color, and the other tablets are changing the other color. And it seems that the fighting it's happening between connected tablets, and it seems that soon as the one of the tablet gets really hot, the fighting stops there, and it goes somewhere else. But for some reason, it's basically very equalized, the situation. And now the red tablets, you can source some sort of like have access to them, and the same thing with the blue tablets, like both of them. But the ones that are fighting in, you have no control. But all the tablets are warm, so it seems that the processing power is used, but it's not overloading the tablet.
right. Um. I'm gonna disconnect one of the blue ones. Oh no, one of the red ones because we already have blue, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so as soon as you already have blue, so are you disconnecting one of the red ones?
Yeah.
So as soon as you disconnect one of the red ones, you see all the other ones, like where it was a battle, the blue wins, and after that it just destroys the next tablets that are red. It's just like not destroys it, like they transform immediately to blue.
Uh-huh.
So basically, on the one that the fight was on, it takes like 3-4 seconds until it transforms to blue, and then instantly the next two transforms into blue.
So if I study the two tablets that are affected by the colors separately, do I see any differences in the way they behave, or is it just identical?
So I would say that at this point you have you already have a computer with a tablet in the cage that doesn't have a connection, um, and that
Yep.
and that seems to be infected by blue, because everything is kind of turned to blue, and then you have a tablet that is red in your hand. Um, you can do the same thing if you want. You can make the same setup as the red one. The same setup as the blue one.
Yep, sure.
So I would say that you make this setup, and in the meanwhile, Uku looks over the data, and it seems that he sees exactly what you saw, but nothing like specific. And then after a while, he tells you about that it seems that the active part, like the one that it's with an antenna, it's actually sending a code out before it actually tries to make a connection with somebody. And from what you can tell, it's basically kind of the same code that you discover that it was sending before it was taking over a system.
So am I able to isolate that code then?
Yeah, it's a request for a code basically. It's not an actual
Oh.
code. It's a request for a code.
Okay, can I put if I put two blues together, can I monitor that and then try and detect the code that the blue gives to the blue?
That's a smart idea. Um yes. Uh you can monitor that, and you actually get the code. And with this idea, I would say that you have both of their codes when they recognize each other.
Yeah, well, through trial and error, it will happen. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say that right now, basically you can tell one of the tablets that you are blue.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like you don't know exactly what's going on. So you can try with the tablet if you want.
Well, it's good to know, but I'm not sure exactly what use it has yet. Is Uku saying anything about this, or is he just?
No, Oku is like observing you. He's not really saying too much. He just looked at the information that you already found, and he kind of told you that he sees everything that you found, and he doesn't see anything more than what you actually found. And right now you see him like observing. Are you actually gonna ask him something, or you just?
I don't have a specific question. I could look at him in a questioning way and see if he says anything, but. Do you have anything to add, Uku?
Um, from the information that I have right now, Commander, everything seems to be working very good with trial and error. And
True.
maybe we should keep on testing. Now that we have the code that recognizes, maybe let's try to see what happens if we have a blank tablet connected to a blue, and then just send the signal from the white one to the blue one.
Yep, seems like the natural thing to do. So yeah, I'll set that up and try it.
Yeah, first thing that you notice it's when you connect them together, um, the blue tablet is asking for the code, the white tablet is transmitting code, nothing happens. It's like
Nothing
basic.
happens at all.
Yeah, no.
It just leaves it alone.
Yeah, it leaves it alone. And basically it's moving. I would say it's moving to look for another connection.
And just for, I'll repeat this with the red and the blue, obviously, but
Yeah,
I'm assuming it's the same behavior.
yes, it's the same thing.
And likewise, I'll try it with red and blue and red.
Yeah, when the blue, when you connect the red and the blue, you definitely see that the blue is asking for the code, the red is sending its code, and then everything fires up, like violently fires up, like the both of the tablets are attacking each other to the point it's like it gets too hot to hold the tablet.
Well, there won't be any attack because I'm just sending the code. I won't be sending like the virus, so I guess it will just take it over.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, then you take a white tablet, to say like that, and transmit the red code to a blue tablet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it violently takes it over. Like normally it would take it over. This time it violently takes it over. It's like the blue tablet, it's pretty much like overcloaking itself until it takes the white one.
Mm.
And normally you would just use the normal processing power to take over the system.
Right. Okay, so I gotta contact the captain. Commander Ryber to Captain Aslan.
Go ahead.
I seem to have found the well, what would equate to transponder codes for the two colors of virus. Sending one will stop the corresponding color attacking the system, and sending the other will obviously get it attacked. So this could potentially be used to protect the ship, I would assume, but only from one color at a time, I would imagine.
Yeah, but then at the same time, you would, like, for example, if I am hailing you, there's a difference from me hailing you to the other ship, so you kind of know who to respond with what.
Well, as long as they don't get mixed up in a big battle and then get into our ship, and then we can't really send one without the other one attacking us.
Yep.
Now, the question is, Ryba, is there any way to send both at the exact same time?
I mean, we could do that.
Find out what happens when you do.
Well, I know that if I send both at the same time and there's any blue, it will attack the red. Or do you mean will it attack us if we're sending both? Well, yeah, okay, I can try that.
And before you even like the split second when you stop talking, right, by you hear Uku saying, and Captain, you hear as well, Uku says, Captain, it seems that if the blue tablet or the blue is receiving a red code, it gets really angry and uses all the resources to kill red. So it's very, I think they will be very pissed if you just send a single blue code to a red virus.
I'm guessing sending both would just simulate a battle, and it would mean that they would just attack. But we
Yeah.
can try it. I don't know how much time all of this testing takes.
No. The thing is that the testing is taking minutes. It's like baking.
Okay.
Because what you do is like you already have everything done, and you just take a copy of a white tablet, like wipe the normal tablet, like wipe the chip, put everything that you already have stored in, I would say a stick, a USB stick, and just dumping it on the tablet, do the test again.
Right.
And you don't have anything like fancy on the tablet, so the putting all the software on a tablet shouldn't take you too much.
Cool.
That's why I'm not taking counts like the time, because this would have been like until now maybe half an hour, 1 hour of work.
Well, let me clarify, Rabbit, what I'm meaning. I want you to take a blank tablet, connect it to one that's currently having both the red and the blue on it, and send both recognition codes at the exact same time. See what happens.
Yeah, I thought that's what you said. Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Raiba, odds or even? I want to see something.
Even.
Okay, so you connect. So you infect a tablet with red and blue that it's fighting, and then you connect it to a blank tablet that sends both of the codes. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so.
You see that like in a code line, there's always something that go first before the other thing. So I would say that you send the blue code first, and then the red code. You would see that you see that the blue one, like you see the other tablet transforming into red, and the tablet that you have right now transforms into blue. And then they are starting to fight each other again. And both tablets are getting infected, and then they start like they keep on switching. And I would say after like 10 minutes of this, give me an insight science, and you have computers as a focus. And the difficulty will be 2.
Buy one die with momentum. Oh, never mind. That's just the extra D20 for the technical expertise.
Yep. One thing that you notice is that they are prioritizing the processing power. And it seems that it's all based on the processing power. It's like both of the the software are kind of doing the same thing, and it's always based on the processing power, and it prioritize. So basically it takes, I would say, to explain it by drawing it, is like you have those, like I would say, all those lines are processors, right? And those processes are connected with each other with red, and then it starts fighting on those flanks. And then you have the blue one that again it's connected, and they are fighting here. Basically, what happens, the software start prioritizing and not fighting here, and start fighting with all its power here. And the red one, it's doing kind of the same, not fighting here and starts fighting here. And it seems that they are keep on like taking each other's processors until it gets like, if you put an even amount of processors, the virus is very confused. It's like it's losing one, it's getting one, it's losing, it's basically working on a circle. But you saw before, when you had an uneven number of processor, they were fighting in certain areas, like in the one that wasn't even, and both of them had kind of the same even power. And both of them recognize when they might lose that fighting ground, and they move to another. So they didn't want to destroy their resources.
Right.
And now that you know this information, now it kind of makes sense why there's a very defined border on the planet, and why they are just conquering pieces and then reconquering it back, and things like that.
Well, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, to a certain point, it kind of makes sense, even on the planet. Why this is happening is like they are taking priority to fight on other battlefield. They win there, but they lose here because the enemy is switching resources to attack where they are weaker, and so on and so forth.
But in response to the captain's inquiry, you're saying that you can't send the two signals absolutely at the same time.
No. And one thing that you discover is that the one that send the first, like the first code that you basically send, is where the virus like switches all its resources. After you finish this experiment, Uku says, um, it's very interesting, this system of solving a problem by trial and error. Now, what happens if there's a fight and you send only one signal towards that fight?
We could try. My guess would be it would just transfer the fight to that tablet, but we can give it a go. So I'll give that a try.
So you set it up everything, and when you connect that blank tablet with the blue code on it and you put it in a fight, the blue side on the fight, it's actually requesting something. And then immediately after requesting that, the tablet transforms red. And from studying the tablet and everything, you realize that the blue was asking for something from the white tablet with the blue thing and lost processing power, or lost, yeah, he used the processing power to request that help, but because of that loss of processing power, the red overwhelmed blue and then attacked your white tablet and won.
Right. And there's no way of telling what it was requesting.
Help, basically. It
Oh.
was, yeah.
Right, yeah, of course. Yeah, okay.
So the thing is that you connected a tablet that had processing power, and you told it that it's blue. So the blue was requesting help because there was no fight there.
Right. Well, there's your answer, Uku.
That's very interesting.
I'm still not sure what this conflict is about.
It, from what I can tell, it's two software fighting two AIs to say. I don't know if you can. I mean, what we have here, I don't know if you actually can call it an AI, but there's definitely a fight between two sides here.
Yeah, the question is why. Well, we have a lot of information. We don't have any information about how to really stop this or have anything that could help us with the planet.
The information that we have right now is how to sabotage one of the sides.
Well, yes. Obviously, it's up to the captain, but it's not in our nature to interfere with other cultures' conflicts.
We Stark looks at you and says, "We might protect ourselves from the virus by using those codes."
Yes, that's true. Only from one at a time, although from what I can see.
Yeah, but if
So
I'm
we
right,
could technically we could let it control, let one of the colors completely take over, and then we'd be protected from the rest because we just keep one signal.
um, from what I can tell, Commander, the only means of communications are the big antennas. So if the blue antenna is sending a signal to us, we just send it the blue code. A red antenna sends us a signal, we send the red signal, the red code. We just do a tight beam code.
Well, we're assuming that they can't pick up on each other's signals.
We are assuming. Just outside of game, isn't it like tight beam? Specifically, you can specifically target a place or something specifically.
I'm not sure if you can do that to something that's not configured to it already, though. I thought that was like secure point to point. I didn't realize you could do it to just anything.
From how I understand it, tight beam is more or less pinpointed signal that is aimed at a specific location.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that if you use a tight beam, you can aim it specifically at one of the antennas.
Pretty much, as opposed to broadband, which is just a scattershot approach.
Yeah,
But
so
they're still right next to each other, so I'm not sure how localized type beam is.
I mean, since you're not that far away, you could try to make something like calibrated for the specific system, since your ship is quite good at things like this. I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth a try, I suppose. They're already hostile as it is, so there's no risk in trying.
I mean, your communication is pretty good on the ship, so.
Yeah, it's a good suggestion. Strike, stay here and just monitor the situation. And Uku, why don't you come to the bridge and we'll talk to the captain.
It just nods and follows you. And you see Stark starting to delete the tablets again.
Captain, Uku and I might have found a solution to our problem. Well, problem of the hostility.
Let me hear it.
We've managed to isolate the transponder codes for the two colors, and Uku suggested that we might localize and project the corresponding codes to the transmitters.
So basically, what I said, send both at the same time.
Well, not so much at the same time, but sending the specific codes using type beam to the corresponding antennae.
And I'll just kind of turn and look at Ryba. So basically, sending both at the same time.
Well, only to individual antennae. If we sent both together, then it would just cancel each other out and cause the color that the opposing color to take over or to attack in our case, I suppose.
It's not really at the same time, Captain. It's only when they ask for them. If they ask for the codes at the same time, we will send this at the same time. We only need to make a tight beam for each antenna, so the other side doesn't receives both of the codes.
Yeah.
It's not a very good idea from our tests to send both of the codes at the same time.
Well, it would be ineffective in terms of the antenna.
I mean, according to your tests, it would be ineffective to send both of them to the same side.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we do it individually and we send one.
But sending both codes at the same time to the corresponding place.
That would
the
be
code
okay.
the code that gets there first is the color that will attack us.
But I mean, in terms of the planets, they're already hostile to us anyway. So even if there's a slight difference in which one stops attacking us, it's not going to make a huge difference. I don't think we have anything to lose anyway, so we might as well try it.
You see Uko turning towards you and just watching. Like his face is pointing towards you because he doesn't really have eyes.
No.
But he like looks at you see like his face is looking towards you.
Great. Rabba, if you need to work on setting up the communications array to tight beam to the corresponding different antenna, get to work.
Okay. I don't think it will take much of a setup, but we have your permission to proceed when ready.
Captain, odds are even.
Yes.
Okay, then I will not roll.
I don't know. I guess even.
Yeah, you see Uko just staying there. And just staying there.
How's it going, Uku?
Learning. Your ship is a very interesting ship, Captain.
Yeah, I'm learning that too. And I'll just kind of grin at him and then motion towards the empty seat beside me. Would you like to sit down?
Isn't that the XO seat, Captain? And you see him moving in front of you.
Generally speaking, yes, that would be the XO seat. However, our XO is currently indisposed, and also he usually takes the station behind me here, and I'll kind of glance at the security NPC back there because he's also the chief security officer. So technically speaking, that chair is open for example, if Doctor's in it decides he wants to hang out on the bridge and doesn't want to use one of the consoles, he might sit there. You're welcome to sit there while you're visiting the bridge. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So after you finish, you see him moving to the chair, sitting down, and then saying, "So you're promoting me to the XO?"
No, I'm not.
It was a joke, Captain. The thing is that you cannot see any change on his face. You know, not eyes, not mouth, nothing. He doesn't actually have a mouth. But when he says that, you hear that he was expecting you to understand that that was a joke.
Once that fully clicks, I kind of turn slightly towards him. Ordinarily, I might enjoy jovial banter. However, right now we are still in a slightly tense situation. So I may not be as perceptive to it as I may normally be.
Oh, the crew of the ship always diffuses high tension with jokes.
Considering the state of our XO, that, in my opinion, was not a tension breaker.
Yeah, he nods and looks forward. So, Raiba, I guess you are creating that software?
Yeah, I mean it's not really software; it's just a signal. So
Yeah,
I
but
can't imagine it takes
you
very long.
should like create a software that would, I would say, balance between like who's sending the, like, because you don't know how many times you're gonna be asked for the code, so you need to make a software that will instantly send the code, because you saw that if you don't send the code, the virus attacks. So you would need
Right.
instantly to send the code back to the person that is asking for it.
Okay. I mean, I don't imagine that's too difficult to set up, but yeah, you can do that.
Okay. Uh, give me a control science. You have computers as a focus. The ship will help, and the difficulty is free.
That's control science.
Yes.
By one momentum.
Okay.
So the ship's helping with computer science?
Yes. Because he's making the software right now. By the way, Raiba, do you want to buy an extra die? Because you get one for free because you're using the computer, right?
No, it's only study of a computer system. So I
Oh,
don't
okay.
think this counts. Maybe. I don't know.
Doesn't it say study or programming?
Programming. Oh yeah, Yeah, yeah. I guess that would apply then.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
So you're gonna buy one over, or you're just gonna keep that one?
No, it's okay. I think 3 is fine.
Okay,
It's
then.
difficulty 2, right?
Free.
Yeah. Oh, it's difficulty 3. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Then I would buy one then.
So you're rolling 4 dices and the ship assists. Oof. Ooh.
You
So-
can reroll one of those, but not the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can re-roll the ship or yours.
Yeah.
And you got 1 momentum.
I'll reroll mine, I guess. Well, that's fine.
Okay, what do you want to do with the ship one?
Well, what would the possible complication be?
The thing wouldn't work forever. I'm giving you an example. I didn't think about a complication yet. But one of the examples would be this, that it wouldn't work forever, or I say that um, the processor overloads or something like that. But it you'll basically succeed at a cost.
Uh, no, I think I'll get rid of it just because this is important.
What are you gonna spend or give?
2 momentum.
Oh, so you're gonna spend 2 momentum?
Shouldn't
Okay.
we be at 3 because it only costs 2 because Rob already gets the 1 extra from working with the computer because of his implant?
Yeah, but I already added it.
We were at 6, went down 2 to 4, we gained 1. We gained 1 back, which put us up to 5. Minus 2 puts us down to 3.
Okay. Um, I don't know where you got that math, but okay.
Because unless I'm wrong, I've started we were at 6-6. Before the war, we spent 2, went down to 4.
Did we start at 6 though?
I thought we did. I could be wrong though.
No, you were at 5.
Okay, then that's my bad.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So right now you have this system installed. And Riba, from what you can tell, it works.
Cool. So I'll set that up and leave it in place.
Yep. At this
and
point,
tell the captain we're ready to send the signal to start it.
nobody's asking you for a code.
Right.
And by this time, I think Saline is done with taking apart the probe.
I'm turning on some candy right now, so I'll be a bit.
What?
I'm turning on some candy I had.
So, are you gonna do anything after you finish the probe? Finish dismantling the probe?
I think he's saying he has his mouth full.
So, what do you want to do next, Captain?
Did Robert tell me he's ready for
Um, yeah.
Yeah, we're ready. It's just that we're waiting for them to ask for the code before we send it.
it? All right then. 10 Smith. I just closer to the planet.
Yes, sir.
So what do you want to do, Rick? You just gonna fly to the planet? Rick?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much just approach the planet.
Okay.
Not in the straight, not in the straight line, not in the straight line, just in case that something is tracking us on the surface. But approach the planet.
In other words, fly casual.
Just zigzag it to confuse the enemy. um, yeah, so you're approaching the planet, and Raiba, you see on the console that both the antennas are sending a signal and the ship is responding to each antenna. And it seems that it's working, but there's a problem. And the problem is that the sides are asking for help.
Hmm.
It's the eternal stalemate.
Well, they're leaving us alone now.
Yeah, but it seems that they asking for help. You don't you basically don't help them. Then they send the code again, like to recognize you. And then you send the code, hey, I'm blue, asking for help. You're not helping.
I finished what I was doing, so I can talk now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send a message
Hold
to
on,
basically
hold
saying
on,
I was done.
Sailing, hold on. Now we are on the bridge doing this. And then I'll move to the engineering. So that's what's happening, Raiba.
Yeah, so it's basically a loop. Um,
Yeah, it's a loop. Now the question is the loop gonna keep on going?
well, the question is like, from a Starfleet point of view, we don't want to assist either side separately. So what's our intention? Like, I get it, like, Captain, what are we actually intending to do with this? As it stands, we could just fly away and leave them be.
Uku turns towards you and says, "What's going on, Commander?"
Well, both sides are asking for help, essentially. Or, well, we don't know if they're sentient enough to ask for help in the same way that we would recognize, but they're both requesting additional processing power to uh, join their combat potential, or to. That's all they seem to care about. Is just gaining more power so that they can take over more than the other color.
Then what happens if we send them both the same amount of processing power?
What's the point?
They are not asking for help anymore?
Well, I don't know how we send processing power anyway. It's not something you can just send. But either way, helping them is going to increase the fighting, presumably. I think we have to ask ourselves what we actually want to achieve.
At this point, you're like in long range from the planet. So the next step would be going in high orbit. Do you want to scan the planet? Or do you want to keep on talking and get to a decision?
I would like some more information on the planet. We don't have enough information about the planet. I definitely want more information on the red side. I know that we know the blue side is all computerish, but weren't there life signs on the red or something?
Yep, the red had some some organic life signs, but you were too far away to exactly understand what's going on.
Yeah, so let's get closer and figure out what the heck those life signs are.
The thing is,
Thing
right,
is,
Bob?
right decision about that.
The thing is, right, Bob, that right now it seems that the software, like what you guys did, it's working. For how long? You don't really actually know, but would be definitely a change before like something would go bad.
So I'll be scanning all the way to the planet, trying to, you know, gain as much information as I can. I'll have to know, like, you have to tell me when we get in range of the planet, so that I can actually detect the life signs and potentially analyze them, or where they are.
Okay, so right now you wanna approach the planet.
Yep.
Rick, put the ship in high orbit, low orbit.
F- Let's say for now, high orbit.
And I guess somebody's gonna scan.
Yep.
Give me reason science, and we will do in 2 scans. So give me reason science, and it will be a difficulty 1 to get like a general scan. Okay, so that gives you 1 momentum. Now, what you get is like everything again. You see it cover into like computers, and from this distance, you would definitely see the computers. You definitely see the power sources, and you can definitely see that the color changing. It happens in building that are basically big computers. Um, you don't really see anything getting built or destroyed on the planet or something like that. And in certain pockets, there are on the red side there are some biomes with some animals and some plants, and then again on the I'm gonna switch you here on the red planet here. It definitely are a lot of life signs, but like from what you can tell from this distance, you just see a concentration of life forms, but you're too far away to actually like get an actual reading there.
What, too far away, even in orbit?
Yeah, in high orbit, you're too. Basically, you cannot penetrate the building. I would say you're not. Sorry, bad explanation. You cannot penetrate the building to get specific information, but you can definitely get a lot of life signs in a small place.
Right.
And on the blue planet, on the blue side, you can see those biomes of life forms. Yeah, you can see those biomes being there, but there's no organic matter in them.
Right. I'd have to get closer to the planet in order to get more information on the life forms, Captain. But there's certainly a lot in the red side of the planet.
But none on the blue.
No, we can't detect any life forms on the blue. No.
So to be more specific, you definitely found the same biomes, but you don't get any organic matter in there.
Yeah. Is there any movement like on the blue side at all? Like robots moving around or anything?
It seems that none of the planet has like movement, specific movement. It's only like equipment, like um, a power plant would have moving components,
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
but nothing like specifically like humanoid robots or something like that. There's nothing
Right.
like that on any of the sites.
Mhm.
So are you gonna move to low orbit or are you gonna do something about else? You can also scan specific areas if you want from here.
Rick turns to Raiba and says, "If you, I can put you closer to that place if you need to."
I'd like to have a bit more information on the life science. So being closer would be better. I'll just look to the captain. Your order, sir?
Yeah. Give me info on those life signs.
Rick, are you gonna move the ship closer?
Yes.
Uh, Ryba, what do you wanna? What do you want to scan? Because you can focus on something.
I want to scan one of the domes with life signs in it.
Okay. Give me reason science difficulty 3 and assisted by the ship.
Assisted by sensor science.
Yes.
I'll buy 1 dive momentum.
Okay. The ship assist. You got 1 momentum. So on the domes, you definitely see a small ecosystem that is like kind of thriving on its own, but you also see like places where like food is produced for the animals because there are small domes and the domes are not producing enough food for the animals.
Am I able to discern what are animal life signs and what are other life signs, or is it just animals?
It's just wildlife. There's nothing that seems to be sentient enough.
Okay, so the red is still having enough processors to provide food for the wildlife, but the blue side doesn't.
I don't know. You can scan the blue biomes to see what's going on.
Yeah, I'll repeat the same thing, but for the blue side.
Give me the same row.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing.
Okay.
I'll
So,
reroll my one.
yep.
There we
Yeah.
go.
So you got one momentum because the difficulty was 2 because was nothing on. Basically, what you get out of this scan is that those biomes are powered down. And everything died in it because it was powered down. You still see on the scans everything that the other biomes have, but basically that they are, yeah, they are powered down.
Right.
Now the only thing that is for you to scan is the concentrated life forms place in the red.
Where are they?
So here, that specific building.
I didn't see a ping. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'll scan that. Scan that.
So I will say reason
Can you describe
science.
the building a bit more before we do that?
It's like a tower, exactly as you kind of say it. See it there. It has a big base around and a big tower in the middle.
Right. Okay.
So just to make like a profile, I'm gonna draw something like this, and then it's like this space, and this is round. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a difficulty 2 scan. If you pass 4, I'll give you something special.
Right. You mean if I pass 4? If I have 4 successes?
4 successes or more.
Right.
But you will succeed at the scan with 2.
Do any of my focuses apply? I don't have sensors.
No, it sensors.
Okay.
No,
I'll-
none of your focuses apply.
I'll spend 2 momentum and 1 threat to buy 2 dice.
Okay. You can re-roll that.
Yeah, I'll reroll that. There we go.
Okay, so you got 6 successes. Getting 2 momentum back. Oh no, actually you get 4 momentum back. Okay, so what you discover that's a tower filled with cryopods. And the stacks upon stacks upon stacks of cryopods in a circle in the building. And it seems that the building is powered up and everything is awake there, and there's an entrance to the building. And with that, we're gonna end today's show.